Quiet in the bar, please. Quiet in the bar. Quiet in the bar. Thank you very much. A little bit of quiet in the bar. Quiz time, everybody. Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us here at the Quiz Inn in the little town of Lockdown in the UK. We hope you're all having a really safe, sensible time in lockdown, and we hope you're all keeping healthy. And tonight we're going to have a quiz, and we're going to try and raise some money for the Trussell Trust. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the Trussell Trust to start with. The Trussell Trust supports a network of over 120 food banks across the UK, helping people in dire need and making sure that people that are vulnerable and in need get sensible food to eat on a regular basis. Last year provided over 1.6 million packages of aid, which was a 23% increase on the previous year. And currently they're working around the clock, as you can imagine, with this current virus situation, to get as much food out to people in need as possible. So what they're doing is really important, but it does cost money, so please help us raise lots of money tonight. This evening we've got a very generous benefactor who has agreed that for the first £250 we raise, he will also give us another £250. So we need to raise that £250 target, so please donate generously, and I'll tell you how you can do that in just a minute. So before we start, I'd just like you to have a quick look on your screen. Somewhere down there should be a icon for settings, and if you can just click on the settings icon and select low latency, and then you'll get the best viewing experience, and we'll all be playing at the same speed. So our quiz has 5 rounds, and each round has 7 questions, and when you get the questions and you get the answers, as you listen to the answers, you'll see on your screen that the choices will come up on the screen, and once you've made your selection, then you can press submit, and we'll know that you've made your selection, and it'll come up on our board. So we're just going to do a quick test question just to make sure that everything is working okay. So if I'm going to ask you the test question now. So what is 2 plus 2 minus 1? What is 2 plus 2 minus 1? And if you can just make your selection and then press submit. Thank you. And the answer is 3, of course. So, before we start, I'd just like to thank the Savoy Truffles and Only Here for the Beer and Cable Salad, who have all donated already. So after matching, we've already raised £30 and we haven't started yet, so that's good news. Thank you very much indeed. So, don't forget, all the money raised this evening goes to the Trussell Trust, and it's all for a very good cause, so please make sure that you donate by clicking the links and donating as soon as you can. So your first round tonight is general knowledge. We have 7 questions, and your first question is coming up. Eyes down for your first question. Paddington is part of which London borough? Paddington is part of which London borough? Is it the City of London, the City of Westminster, Islington, or Kensington and Chelsea? Paddington is part of which London borough? And if you can just make your selection and then press submit. And the answer, of course, is the City of Westminster. And your second question. How many buttons are there on a standard handheld Tamagotchi game? How many buttons are on a standard handheld Tamagotchi game? Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? If you can make your selection and then press submit. And the answer is 3. So after the first few questions, the leaderboard is showing us that Stripey King and Tom Nook are out in front. Next question on general knowledge. Which nationality was the composer Frédéric Chopin? Which nationality was the composer Frédéric Chopin? Was he Polish, British, French or German? You can press your selection and then press submit. Thank you. And the answer was Polish. And your next question. How many times has the Olympics been cancelled? Is it once, twice, 3 times or 4 times? How many times has the Olympics been cancelled? And the answer is 3 times. So the Olympics have been cancelled 3 times so far, and let's just hope that everything gets back to normal and that the Olympics in Tokyo can carry on as planned next year. On the Jubilee line, what station comes after London Bridge going eastbound? On the Jubilee line, what station comes after London Bridge going eastbound? Is it Bermondsey, Canada Water, Southwark or Borough? On the Jubilee line, what station comes after London Bridge going eastbound? And the answer is Bermondsey. And your next question. How many episodes of Games of Thrones are there? How many episodes of Games of Thrones are there? Is the answer 61, 67, 73 or 82? How many episodes of Game of Thrones are there? And the answer is 73. And for those of you who haven't seen the news today, one of the actors in Games of Thrones is a weightlifter, and today he smashed the world record by lifting 501 kilos as a deadlift. That's really absolutely incredible. That's over half a ton. So, your last question on this round. Nephelococcygia is the practice of doing what? Nephelococcygia is the practice of doing what? Swimming in freezing water, breaking glass with your voice, sleeping while standing up, or finding shapes in the clouds. And the answer is finding shapes in the clouds. So that's the end of the first round, and at the end of the first round we have a clear leader with Tom Nook out in the lead all on his little own, followed by the Savoy Truffles, Haven't a Scooby-Doo, both in second place, and the Stripey King and Cable Salad in joint third place. And please don't forget to press donate as soon as you get a chance, and please be generous because we're trying to hit that target tonight. We really like to raise at least £500 tonight. So please don't forget to donate some money now. So the next round is entertainment. So, Twiggy was the most famous model of which decade? Twiggy was the most famous model of which decade? Was it the 1940s, the 1960s, the 1970s, or the 1990s? Twiggy was the most famous model of which decade? And the answer, of course, was the swinging 60s. And your next question. What is the top grossing James Bond film to date? what is the top grossing James Bond film to date? Is it Goldfinger, Casino Royale, Spectre or Skyfall? What's the top grossing James Bond film to date? And the answer is Skyfall. In what year did the United Kingdom last win the Eurovision Song Contest? In what year did the United Kingdom last win the Eurovision Song Contest? Was it 1981, 1994, 1997 or 2001? And the answer was 1997. So that puts the Savoy Truffles in the lead with Haven't a Scooby-Doo joint lead, and then we have a tie for second place between the Stripey King, the Belgian Einsteins and Tom Nook. So which of the following is a Studio Ghibli movie? Which of the following is a Studio Ghibli movie? Ponyo, Your Name, Beauty and the Beast or Weathering with You? If you can make your selection, don't forget to press submit. And the answer is Ponyo. And your next question. Film The Great Escape won how many Oscars? The 1963 film The Great Escape won how many Oscars? Was it 0, 1, 2 or 3? The 1963 film The Great Escape won how many Oscars? And the answer is it didn't win any Oscars. So not a good year for The Great Escape. And your next question. Who wrote the music for An American in Paris? Who wrote the music for An American in Paris? Was it Andrew Lloyd Webber, Leonard Bernstein, Maurice Ravel or George Gershwin? And the answer, of course, was George Gershwin. So your final question in this round. In which character in the Magic Roundabout rode a tricycle? Was it Ermintrude, Florence, Zebedee or Mr. McHenry? Which of the characters in the Magic Roundabout rode a tricycle? And the answer was, of course, Mr. McHenry. So, that changes the leaderboard with the Stripey King and the Belgian Einsteins ahead with 10, and the Savoy Truffles, Haven't a Scooby-Doo and Only Here for the Beer in joint second place. And we've had another donation from the Proper Copper Coffee Pot. So thank you very much for your donation. I'd like to see some more donations coming in, guys, so if you can please donate, anything is good, but the more the better. Thank you very much. Don't forget, it's all going to a really, really good cause. It's going to the Trussell Trust, who help run food banks all across Great Britain, and we really do want to support them by raising as much as we possibly can this evening. So please press the donate button and donate in whichever way you can. And also, if you've got time at some point, have a look at their website and look at the fantastic work they do and see if there's anything you can do to help support their fantastic organisation where you live. So, next questions are literature. So, eyes down for your first question. Literature, the first question. What is the name of the evil alter ego in Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? What is the name of the evil alter ego in the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Is it Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? And the answer, of course, is Mr. Hyde. Your next question. Blathers, Charlotte and Fagin are characters from which Charles Dickens tale? Blathers, Charlotte and Fagin are characters from which Dickens tale? A Christmas Carol, Great Expectations, The Old Curiosity Shop or Oliver Twist? And you can make your selection. Don't forget to press submit. Thank you. And the answer, of course, was Oliver Twist. And your next question. What's the name of the oldest sister in Little Women? What's the name of the oldest sister in Little Women? Is it Meg, Beth, Jo or Seisha? And the answer was Meg. So that's changed the leaderboard a little bit, with the Stripy King just leaping out slightly ahead of the Savoy Truffles, the Belgian Einsteins, and Only Here for the Beer, followed very closely by Haven't a Scooby-Doo. So, all to play for still. What game was the first in its kind to be published as a book in 1924? What game was the first to be... Sorry, I'll start again. What game was the first in its kind to be published as a book in 1924? Was it word search, Sudoku, crosswords or farming? And the answer was crosswords. Next question. What was Stephen King's first published novel? What was Stephen King's first published novel? Was it It, Misery, Carrie or Doctor Sleep? What was Stephen King's first published novel? And the answer was Carrie. And thanks to Keg and Bacon for their generous donation of £1. And don't forget, people, we are here trying to raise money for the Trussell Trust, so please make sure you press donate and donate as much. Every donation we receive today is going to be matched up to a value of £250 by our generous benefactor, so please, donate as much as you can. So, 2 more questions in this round of literature, and the next question is, which Jane Austen novel does Bridget Jones's Diary use for inspiration? Which Jane Austen novel does Bridget Jones's Diary use for inspiration? Is it Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey or Pride and Prejudice? And the answer, of course, is Pride and Prejudice. And that changes the leaderboard now, with Only Here for the Beer running away with 15 points. How many unique words are in Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss? How many unique words are in Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss? Is it 50, 60, 100 or 130? You make your selection and press submit. And the answer is 50. So that's the end of that round. So just having a quick look at the leaderboard now. We have Only Here for the Beer out in front with 16 points, followed by the Savoy Truffles and the Belgian Einsteins with 14 points, and Haven't a Scooby-Doo with 13 points, followed very closely by the West End Girls on 12. So still everything to play for, and the next round is music. Okay, so music round, and your first question: the Wiley Flow is named after which artist? The Wiley Flow is named after which artist? Wiley, Skepta, Stormzy, or JME? Don't forget, when you've made your selection, please press submit. And the answer is Wiley. And your next question: the members of the duo Daft Punk are famous for wearing what on their heads during their live performances? The members of the duo Daft Punk are famous for wearing what on their heads during live performances? Is it face masks, animal masks, skulls, or helmets? Make your selection, please press submit. And the answer, of course, is helmets. True or false? The Hacienda was a famous nightclub based in Ibiza before shutting down in 2002. True or false? The Hacienda was a famous nightclub based in Ibiza before shutting down in 2002. True or false? And the answer was false. Which one of these Pink Floyd albums was also a movie? Which one of these Pink Floyd albums were also a movie? Was it Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, Wish You Were Here, or Animals? Which one of these Pink Floyd albums was also a movie? And the answer was The Wall. And we've had some more donations in. Thank you very much for those of you who are donating. Please don't forget to press the donate button, guys. Okay, what notes make up the chord of A major? Is it A, C and E, A, C sharp and E, A, C sharp and F sharp, and F sharp? What notes make up the chord of A major? And the answer is A, C sharp and E. So we have the Stripey King leaping out in front with 22 points, followed closely by Only Here for the Beer on 19 points, with the Belgian Einsteins in third place. Second to last question. Show Me Love by Robin S. famously utilised which synthesizer for its hook and melody? Show Me Love by Robin S. famously utilised which synthesizer for its hook and melody? Was it Roland Jupiter 8, Roland TR-808, Mini Moog, or the Korg M1? You make your selection and press submit. And the answer was the Korg M1. In music theory, which of these terms means slow broadly? In music theory, which of these terms means slow broadly? Is it largo, allegro, adagio, or grave? And the answer, of course, is Largo. And I can understand that those of you who put Allegro probably drove an Austin one years ago and quite probably felt like I did that they were slow and had a terrible turning circle. Anyway, moving on to your next round, which is science. So your first science question, true or false, sound can travel through a vacuum? Is it true or false that sound can travel through a vacuum? And the answer is false. And your next science question. Optics is a study of what? The anatomy of eyes, the behaviour of light, the properties of sound waves, or finding a cure for blindness. Optics is a study of what? You can make your selection and press submit. And the answer is the behaviour of light. And your next question. What type of creature is a barramundi? Which type of creature is a barramundi? Is it a badger, a monkey, a fish, or a shark? And the answer, of course, is a fish. What is the medical name for bad breath? What is the medical name for bad breath? Is it odontalgia, periodontitis, halitosis, or gingivitis? What is the medical name for bad breath? You can make your selection and press submit. And the answer, of course, is halitosis. Next question. Which part of the limbic system allows for the processing of human emotions and memories? Which part of the limbic system allows for the processing of human emotions and memories? Is it the hippocampus, the amygdala, the hypothalamus, or the frontal lobe? Which part of the limbic system allows for the processing of human emotions and memories? And the answer is the amygdala. So, the leaderboard has changed again. The Stripy Kings out in front with 23, followed by the Savoy Truffles and the Belgian Einsteins, and Only Here for the Beer on 22, and Cable Salad on 19 points. So we have two more questions in this round. What is the main material used to make a standard pre-1992 UK 1p piece? What is the main material used to make a standard pre-1992 UK 1p piece? Is it copper-plated steel, an alloy of copper, tin and zinc, a mixture of copper and zinc, or spray-painted iron? And make your selection and press submit. And the answer is copper-plated steel. What is the SI unit of thermodynamic temperature? What is the SI unit of thermodynamic temperature? Is it pascals, Celsius, Fahrenheit, or Kelvin? Make your selection and press submit. And the answer is Kelvin. So that's the end of that round. And don't forget, you can still donate on the homepage after the game is finished. So if you haven't donated yet, then please donate after the game is finished. Don't forget, we're raising money for the Trussell Trust, who are a really important charity in the UK. They run over 120 food banks across the UK, and they really do need your support, and especially they need money. So if you'd like to make a donation, please press the donation tab now, and this evening, up to the first £250, every pound that you donate is being doubled by our very generous benefactor who's agreed to double all the donations up to £250 tonight. So please, please, please donate as much as you can. That's the end of the game for this evening, but I'm going to read you the scores. And in joint first place are the Belgian Einsteins and the Stripey King, both with 24 points. Only Here for the Beer, second place with 23 points, and the Savoy Truffles in third place with 22 points, and the runners-up, Cable Salad, with 20 points. So thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We hope you've had a great time. And don't forget, next weekend it's VE celebrations for the 75th anniversary of VE Day. So we'll be having a special round of questions all about VE Day. So make sure you watch lots of stuff on television about VE Day, because we will be asking questions. In the meantime, please don't forget to donate. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again at the quiz in. Cheers everybody, and stay safe.